Alright, let's go ahead and get this started. I'm going to turn off this light and get this kind of vibe set. Alright. Look at this. We really got this mood set here. Nice. Can you guys hear the rain in the background? I tried to open the windows, make sure you guys could hear it. Let me see here. Alright, let me go here. Want more like um let's see here. Want to see if I can get like a good evening sound for this, but I think it's something more like not really what I wanted. No, I want something more like that's gonna put me to sleep. No way. Um Can't do doom or jazz either. Nah, I want something more like low key, like something more like, like oh, hold on. Let's see. I gotta change the chat over here so I can see what you guys are saying. Yo, Ray, what's going on? Hey, Tim. Hey, Blitz. Welcome back in, you guys. Welcome in, you three. Appreciate you guys for being here. We might have to keep monetization off if we're gonna have this on. Can you guys hear the rain in the background? I wanna see if you guys can hear it. I think you guys can. Can you hear it? Let me know. Let me know. Tim, can you hear the rain in the background? Do you hear the rain? Okay, and you got the jazz going. Tell me how the music levels is. I want to make sure like it's not too. I was looking back at some of my past streams and my music was pretty loud and like it was kind of honestly I wouldn't personally stay watching. So I was like, dang, kind of trolled on that one. Okay, so yeah, it is a little bit loud, I think. Let me can you turn it down a little bit? It blew my ears out so bad. All right, like that. How's that? Like just kind of in the background, like. All right, cool. All right, you guys, welcome back into the stream. Hope you're having a good day today. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm curious. Should I make the? Give me 1 second. We're gonna get started here shortly. Let's see if I can get a little bit better picture quality. Oh shoot, this thing like broke. No, oh my gosh, I have to get a new one. Wow. My ring light, it stopped working, and now it's just breaking like altogether. So fantastic. It's not holding my phone in place. Whatever, it's okay. I'll just do the lo-fi feel. Okay, let's go ahead and get started here. Hopefully you don't follow asleep. Well, if you do fall asleep, just keep the stream on in the background. That's all good with me. We'll keep you snoozing here. I wonder if I throw on the monetization if I'm gonna get hit with copyright. Because these are people's songs, I think. Yeah, I'm not gonna risk it for the. I mean, I don't know. Should we risk? Whatever. I'll try it. If we get that little notice saying like, "Yo, you need to stop," we'll see. We'll see. Hey, Ray's got the vibes going. Okay, here we go. All right, you guys. Feeling good today. I wanted to come on and I wanted to get back into our better options, and I wanted to actually get some code going. It's how the blanket is a sleep stream or a coding stream. Yeah, we might snooze here. We might snooze here. So I wanted to look at the Y Finance. Oh god. That's bright, y'all. Sorry. Where's the docs? Oh, phew. Okay. So I might not use Y Finance for everything. I might, switch over to a paid API service when I get some more experience with some algorithmic type of scripting. But I wanted to kind of dabble my feet in. I know we did some streams in the past regarding this, but I kind of, it was honestly kind of like half-assed. It wasn't really that, I wasn't really paying attention that much, and I really didn't really know what I was doing. So I want to come take a second stab because I think my goal is I would really like to have like honestly, like a module or a suite or a package of um, models that I could run on various symbols, on various like stocks or various options potentially, and just to give me a lot of data to make financial decisions, justifications, potentially, reports, um, and the like. So I'm quite interested in seeing what I can do here with this, and seeing what we can kind of implement. Let me know what you guys think. Let's go ahead and get this party started though. Okay. So okay, so let's go to the the docs here. No, reference. Right, so we know that you have a ticker class, but you also have a stock class, which is of a stock, which is ticker stock methods. So if I go back really quickly, I wanted to see, so a ticker, a class for accessing single ticker data. Tickers is a class for handling multiple tickers. Markets, the class for accessing a market summary. You can download with this function. Search for accessing search results. Lookup class for looking up tickers. WebSocket for synchronously streaming live market data. Async WebSocket class for asynchronously streaming live market data. Domain class for accessing sector information. Okay. So they have this ticker class already set up for us, and there is no stock class. So ticker and tickers here. See, these are the methods that come with tickers. Attributes. Okay. And then these are the methods. Okay, so a ticker, we can do what? We can get actions, get analyst price targets, get balance sheet. Okay, so it's just ordered by alphabetical based on this, starting with get. So get cash flows, dividends, earnings dates, earnings estimates, histories, fast info, financials, get info, options chain for that sticker. Okay. Live message handler verbose. These are the attributes that it has. Options. Okay. And then this WebSocket here, I wanted to look up this one. So message handler is a message, received a message with context manager as this subscribe to Apple and Bitcoin and listen with the message handler. Without context manager. You can get live pricing. So class provides asynchronous interface for describing price updates. Okay, so this will return us back live pricing, which is interesting, right? So I wondered like how far we could get with Y Finance before we have to potentially get paid data APIs. Which, if we need to get it eventually, like that's fine. But I would first like to like get our feet wet with some basics, and then as we get more advanced, we can start to get more data and more live, more solidified, right, straight from the source rather than scraped, right, from Yahoo Finance. Okay, so let's go make dir VNV. We're going to what do we have to do? Is it Python VNV dot VNV dash M? Is that what you say? I forgot. Oh, close. Okay. So we're gonna go Python dash M VNV in dot VNV folder, right? So that creates our VNV here. Yes, we'll make it our workspace folder. So now what happens if I automatically open like a terminal here? We get automatically into our virtual environment in VS Code here, which is nice. Okay, so right now there's nothing in here, right? Yeah, just pip. So let's go pip install Y Finance. Is that how you do it? Let's make sure. Yeah. I'll install the wrong package. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Okay, here we go. Alright, so now in our library we have all of those data sets, or all those modules or packages or whatever. Sweet. So let's go ahead and get started here, right? So I'm gonna zoom in here, make my font a bit less, and then we'll just make a and then what we'll do is we'll go spelled it wrong, but I assumed right. I think it's so. Cool. We're on get our status here. Let's go ahead and what do I want to do here? What do I want to do? What do I want to do? So we have our objects. I guess I'll just rename this to classes, right? And then I want to have a models folder here as well. We have classes and models. So in our classes, we're going to have a few things. Let me first, I'm going to go to my GitHub. Going to go to here. Go to here. I'm going to go settings, delete, yes, yes. Okay, so let's create a new repository here called I'm gonna make this private. Create repository. I'm gonna copy this. What? Let's do I don't know, let's add not here. Let's add a readme md. And then we'll say better options. That's really small. Settings 20. There we go. Let's go git add first commit add readme. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to paste this here. Now that we have a commit, there we go. Now we'll go here and go get status, and then this will say that we need to push, or did it automatically do it? Why is it giving us this weird clipping here? Like, I don't know why it's doing that. Why is it highlighting this? What's that doing? Okay. Like, if I push, there's nothing to push, right? Yeah. Now let me go here and just refresh. Boom, we live, better options. Cool, so we got our repository synced up. I had one already, but like I said, as I restarted everything, because I wanted to get a better handle on my organization here and whatnot. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and here and go so we obviously have right, what I was doing before was I was taking in the Y Finance stock and creating my own class for it, like, and having the data be custom to what I wanted from there, right? So we'll probably keep with that. So we'll go, this is going to be a stock. Right, this is going to be a stock. Stock.py. We're also going to have here option, or we're just going to say stock.py, and we're going to go class stock. Let's define an init. And let's go ahead and you just have to give a ticker, which is a stir, and then that's all you have to do. So self dot ticker is equal to ticker dot lower. So we'll force lower on the ticker symbol to make it all lowercase. No, hey Mitchie, how's it going? I haven't done Odin Project for a while. I kind of started just doing my own stuff once I kind of learned the basics. Kind of bail out of those courses pretty quick as I kind of learn what I need to and then start building stuff. So that's kind of my bad part about it. My neck is wrecked. Okay, so we have ticker is self dot lower. And then what we're gonna do is we have the ticker symbol. So we're also gonna import Y finance here. And we're gonna want to, do I want to take the Y finance ticker class? I want to take some data associated with this and kind of mold it into my own, right? So we have this ticker symbol. So Y finance, if we go back to our Y finance documentation, we had the ticker object here. It has all of these attributes and then these methods. So I'm trying to think, maybe we don't even need to really make our own class. Because you give the ticker based on here, right? And that'll give me the object I want. So let's just quickly open up like a testing.py. And let's go import Y finance here. And let's go ahead and say stock or ticker is equal to quote, we'll just do Apple for right now, right? Okay, and then we're going to define a main function. And then we're going to say if underscore underscore name is equal to quote under main, then run quote main, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to create a Y finance ticker object given ticker var. So we're going to say ticker is equal to hey Jose, how's it going? Doing good. How are you doing? If you guys are let me know what you guys are working on and studying tonight. If you guys are in school and CS majors or whatever, let me know if you guys are, how's that going? How's school been going for you guys? Back in session, huh? We're gonna do Y finance dot ticker given ticker here. And then if we, let's just print ticker dot balance sheet. right? Oh, what happened here? We got stuck in a loop here. Oh, it was just waiting for. Oh, it was just getting us back for us. Okay. So it gave us back a pandas data frame of the. Got you. Perfect. So then if I say print ticker dot financials, what does financials have me as this property? Another pandas data frame of 39 rows by 4 columns. The financials. So if I say get fast info returns a fast info object, and then I print info dot let's just say items. Can we do that? Yeah. So it prints us a list of tuples of all the key value pairs within the fast info, right? And so then what we'll do is we'll just quickly parse this. We'll say for p in info dot items print p. So now we'll just get it on every line here. There we go. Why does it do this? Anyone know why I'm getting this, like... Okay, so a daily high, daily low. The exchange was on. The 50-day moving average, the 50-day average price, last price, volume. So if we look up here, private window, Apple stock. So 247.66 was the after hours price that it ended on, right? Let me see, what was the non-after hours price? Let's go to Robinhood, Apple. We closed regular market close was 245.27. I do not match up with that. Is that from previous day? 247.66 was the last price. Maybe it just differs slightly. Right? From exchange to exchange. So, I mean, it shouldn't. The price is the price. 247.66. Oh yeah. So the close of today was 247.66. After hours is up at 248.06. At least in this exchange, and then this other exchange after hours is 248.06. But the close was 247.66. So we are getting daily closes based off this just info, fast info, right? So you can get quick stuff here. Um, Now I'm curious. Now does this last price in fast info, does that um, does that update live pretty frequently with Y Finance? What is the frequency of these updates? Okay, so 10-day average volume 3. Okay, cool. Nice. So I kind of have a strategy I want to work on that's more psychological. I don't know. It's not like mathematical based, but it's more like I have this kind of theory that's been playing out the past couple of years since I've been getting in more and more in trading and been kind of getting more profitable off of this theory, and how I've been playing it just kind of manually, is that I believe with the influx of retail traders over the past 5 years, and will continue to increase over the next probably 5 years, I'd say. Then we might hit maybe like a plateau. But with the increase of retail traders, there's a lot more lazy money out there, or like uh, unknowledgeable money, potentially like, I don't know, like it's not trying to play off the unknowledgeable, but that's kind of what the trade is. You buy low and you sell to someone at a higher price that you think is like, overvalued or whatnot, that you're finally willing to sell at. So with the influx of retail traders in the past like 3-5 years, and with the continued increase with obviously with the accessibility through apps, the need to invest rather than just the kind of like want is now a necessity, basically, if you want to have any chance in America of making it. um, and if you're not an entrepreneur, or like a business owner, if you're just a regular 9 to 5 worker. And then, but with that, I think that there's a lot more emotion in the market, and I don't um, like there's a lot more, like I said, like fast money, like people that don't really know what they're doing, going into things that they shouldn't like, be buying, and just kind of following too much hype. There's just a lot more volatility based off of hype now than I've seen in the past. Now, obviously, because of like the social media and stuff, and people tweeting out and causing the market to move like wildly, just it throws a wrench in stuff. But that's kind of the stuff I'm talking about. Is that how can we capture or give ourselves the best possible chance or potential? I don't want to say edge because we don't have any edge here, but like a theoretical edge, maybe. Like, how can we capture these lucrative but volatile swings in kind of like a like kind of like a it's kind of silly, but my analogy is like a hot potato. Like it really seems silly, but like, can we somehow figure out where big money's flowing, where news is covering, like on a heat map, where like retail sentiment is driving, like, nerves based off of maybe some indicators, and like then it follows some price and volume to come up with like a quick entry and exit for grabbing the potato and letting the potato go and throwing it away, right? I think that like now more than ever maybe is is a good time to play this hop. Like it seems so elementary and stupid, honestly, because all you have all these people in quant like doing all these crazy algorithms and stuff. But maybe it can be simple in terms of like just you take the trends, but you have to have the evidence that the trend is there. And how can we try to get that evidence through some data, right? So my idea is that um, I kind of go through some phases of what I want to do, but my idea is that I want to kind of set up over the course of like a tool that will to collect data for me over the course of, let's say, like a week or so time frame, or continually collect data and adjust my models accordingly. And um, yeah, and give you kind of like the like a heat map, or like a a filtered arrangement of what is kind of hot right now and what we can look at, right? Like, so you know it's kind of interesting. So honestly, I'm not sure where we're going to start. um, I don't really care where we're going to start, but we're just going to start and see what happens. um, I think a lot of people get too swept up in the planning of things and just but it's fun to just start doing stuff, and seeing what we can kind of come up with. So for one, I think I want to, right, we're getting data from the market, at least through this Y finance. Now I'm not sure the reliability of it yet. We'll obviously have to do some, put it to the test, and then we might have to find some more reliable sources with some maybe pay to play. Um, but let's say we have a watch list of ticker symbols, right, that we want to track. And out of these ticker symbols, we want to identify certain anomalies that occur based on the current set of data that we have, right? So as we're tracking data and we're intaking information, if we notice any variance, large, like we could use a lot of this stuff we've been learning in the MIT OpenCourseware, 60002 and whatnot, to calculate maybe potential variances or deviations in these data points to determine where we see the largest spreads taking place, and if we see any spread between data points that we can model to potentially like an exponential curve to indicate for like a move that's going to happen. Does that make any sense? So let's say you're tracking data points on like a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday, a Thursday, a Friday, whatever, and you're noticing that obviously it just seems too simple though, like tracking volume, but these are the basics, and maybe the basics I try to like overcomplicate things and try to add in certain ideas, but what do you guys think? I'm still waiting on a couple of my options here that I've been holding my longs. I have some pretty long, not some long longs, but a couple of month long options, um, on a couple of stocks I've given out in the Discord for fun. Um, Hopefully those hit on this rebound here. I'm still holding through. I've got time, and I bought time for a reason, because I knew there was going to become some shakeup here. I kind of, but yeah. So I'm feeling good about the contracts though. They didn't drop too heavy and off this dip, and if we get some buying pressure back into them, the volatility and IV increase could jump, and we could get some just value off the contract itself rather than actually too much movement on the stock. Okay, so we're obviously getting this data. I'm gonna work on the options. What is that? I'm gonna work on the okay, so stock takes in ticker, and then you create a ticker symbol, and then you obviously have some basic information, but the actual Y finance info. Get fast info. Get income statement. Get info. Yo, hold on, you guys. Something's... That's my neighbors freaking me out. Got this rainy day, lights off, getting all spooked. Jeez, you hear like noises going on. My girlfriend has my dog, so I'm trying to do Halloween. Okay, so let's go ahead and do YF ticker, right? Or we'll do self dot self dot YF ticker is equal to, we'll create a Yahoo Finance dot ticker symbol here, and we'll create it on the self dot ticker that we created here, right? And so this will return this object. So now we can write some more kind of specific methods on this. We're not inheriting from, we're creating this object and kind of passing it into our class here almost. Just automatically, and saving it as like an instance variable object of this object. And so we could, now we can write some methods to just get quickly the individual information out of the because it looks like it bundles a lot of its information together, like, and so if I want specific things, I kind of need a more tailored child class to kind of extract out these bundled data structures out, right? So let's go ahead and write some methods here. So def current price is equal to, we'll take in self, right? And this is going to be a property, and we're going to return an int. So we're going to say self dot YF ticker dot fast info. We're going to go into this list. It's a list, right? Let's print the type of info. So it's a fast info object class. And then we're looping over the info items. because it has a dictionary associated with it. So if I say, let's look up fast info here. This fast info is this guy here. Wow, this thing's big. Pause. Let's go ahead and info retired keys price. So this has a how could I so def items, def keys. Okay, so it's just it's imitating a dictionary. It's not inheriting from the dictionary base class though. So how is it stored? Where is it storing? Base keys is here? Gives us a fast info, which is a okay, so it has properties of its own actually. So that's actually pretty helpful. So we fast info dot last price, just like this, right? Oh, nice. So if we let's go from let's import our stock class. Let's create a stock is equal to our stock class with ticker of Apple that we're gonna give it, and then let's go print stock dot current price. None. Ding 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 ding. Property last priced on fast info. Maybe I can't call last price on this object. Maybe I need to get this object and then return. Oh, I didn't return anything. That's fine. Goof. Come on, quit trolling, bro. There we go. Got the last price there. Cool. Hey, what's going on, Mrs. Psychologist or someone? Hey, your mom bestie. Yo, what's up, buddy? Thanks for joining me on Twitch. Yo, lol Kev, thanks so much for the follow on Twitch. You're the best. I appreciate you so much. Appreciate you so much. We want some. We want some like. Want that doomer jazz. Let's go. Hey, who is that? Who is that? Your mom bestie, thanks for the follow on Twitch. You're the best. That's so awesome. That's so awesome. Thank you so much. For those that are new here, my name is Michael. I really appreciate you guys being here. You can follow me on Twitch and YouTube. If you want to, I stream almost every single day. I try my best to, after my 9 to 5 job as a chemist or a formulation chemist. I have a degree from back in 2021 in human biology and a minor in chemistry. I work as a formulation chemist ever since I graduated. Um, uh, since then, yep, and I've been teaching myself how to code in Python and React, Tailwind, but mainly my expertise so far, if you can call it that, or my specialty, is in Python. I've been teaching myself for about a year and a half, building various projects, scripts, and the like. You can check out all of my stuff completely transparent. I've done everything, all my learning, 100% live on this channel. Yes, I've done a little bit of reading and stuff off the channel, but whatever. But I try my best to document about 95% of all my learning here on this channel, and pretty much all the code I write to that I can share is here. We've been successful in kind of pitching to our work to let us become kind of a programming chemist as well. I've been able to. What happened to my? I thought I turned this up. Yeah, I thought I turned up my thing. Sorry. Um, so I've actually pitched like an automation tool for this kind of type of math that I have to do for computing kind of chemical matrices. Basically, like producing a theoretical blend of serums together to produce an end product to hit a suite of testings parameters. And basically, I've been developing some code for that at work and on the side of my current occupation, and then which has been quite fun. And hopefully, wherever this takes us, wherever we go, whatever happens, happens. Appreciate you guys being here, though. Oise just started following last week. Really enjoying your stream and trying to do the same thing. Nice, dude. That's so cool. Nice to meet you, your mom bestie. How do you say what projects to work on or while you learn? Honestly, I just whatever interests me in that moment. I just whatever sparks my mind at that time. To be honest, that's honestly as much the best I can give. So the thing is this is creating this object and then returning it. So there is a little bit of lag here, which isn't that like great. So, hey, who is that? Hey, John T. Hicks, thanks for the sub. You're not that guy, pal. I gotta move the chat down because it's in the way of the alerts. There we go. So I'm wondering if we can get access to the price any other way or the information any other way that doesn't return an object back. So these all return objects. Earnings dates with a limit. Okay. Objects. Get shares full. Okay, so these do return back these data frame or dictionary objects if you specify them as such. So get fast info, and then get info just returns a dictionary back to it. So I'm wondering, what happens if we say, let's do stock dot return dot get info, right? And what does this return back to us? Oh, craptoness. So that was pretty fast though. So I'm wondering in here, does this have a last price? Not in this one. Quote, book value. I thought that there was like a price in this from last time I checked. Let me literally throw away this terminal. And let's run a fresh terminal here. And let's go here. Words. Do we have, oh, here, regular market price. Regular market price. So does this update live? Is I'm wondering. It sucks because I can only code this stuff when the market closes. Like, how do you do this stuff on live data? You have to be at the life of the unemployed. But to be like what? Okay, so we can do. Let's return get fast info, and we're gonna return um out of this, right? We're gonna return the quote regular market price. Can I index into this object if it like this? Let's find it out. Oh, let's go. There we go. Cool. So that was a lot faster than before. So the get info returns an object of kind of all the info without creating another object in memory and giving that back to us with all a bunch of stuff that we might not need. So that's good to know too. So that gives us the regular market price. We want to do now. We want to do should we do current price or should we do like dot price? Let's just do price. Right. Let's just make it easy. Now I could make this. No, I don't want to make this a saved attribute because I want to update it live every time. You guys are enjoying the stream so far. If you could leave a like, I appreciate it so much. It's free and helps keep new people coming in here. I have a Discord link down below, a complete roadmap of my learning. I've done my best to try to transcribe and put in there all of my my learning and all the resources I've used from books, courses, videos, breakdowns, everything in there. Like if you're taking Harvard CS50P, I have a weekly kind of cheat sheet to break down in there. I've done the entire course live on stream. So how do you learn Python without struggling? Honestly, I've just been doing it for a year and a half. I do struggle every day with certain concepts, but every day gets a little bit easier, and then you just kind of build on what you know, and you don't have to remember everything. Is the kind of what I've also focused on is don't try to remember everything. It's okay to look things up. You just want to be familiar and be able to kind of understand the topics on a level where you can explain them. And then it's okay if you don't like remember the exact parameter inside of a method call or whatever. Like that stuff is kind of like arbitrary to the learning. It's more of that's like a cherry on top of all that stuff. But I don't feel. I think people get misconstrued about having like to look things up or like as being fluent or whatnot, and I don't think that's the case. And I'm not even fluent. I'm reading books. I'm learning every day, trying my best to get better, and I don't even think I'm that good. I'm definitely not that good. I built pretty beginner stuff, so yeah. Okay. Anyways, let's keep rolling. So we have the price here. Now we can get the options chain of this stock, right? And what I want to do is I want to get the options chain of the stock, and I want to do it well, what do I want the chain first, or should I get let's just go def volume. Or I'll say, should maybe make this more, like, defined, because I think I should say current price. Right, because we'll say current volume, or like live volume, right? This is going to return back a float. So this also returns back a float. Not sure if this is a float. Let's actually print the type of this and see what we get. Float. Okay, so it does convert it. It does have it automatically in there for us. Hey, Gademi, how's it going? Which do you think is the most important programming language for machine learning? Dude, asking the wrong guy, unfortunately. I'm not going to feed you some BS. I don't even know that stuff myself. But probably, data science related languages that are probably fast, so lower level languages. Python with packages and mathematical languages and stuff like that. But that's probably my guess. Just OBS, your mom, to stream OBS. Okay, so nice. That's giving us back the float stock price. So now we're gonna go current volume. So if we say get fast info, I'm gonna print the stock dot YF ticker dot get fast info, or get info again, right? One more time. And I want to see, do we have a volume associated in here? Volume, average volume, regular market volume, volume. It has a current price and a regular market price. And a volume and a current volume. Man, I'm getting making me do that stank face. Like that. I think it's a, sounds like a Trump. No, it's definitely a sound. I'm really bad at my brass instruments and like knowing them by ear. I don't think it's a saxophone. I think it's a, it sounds like a trombone. Like with a slide. Is that what a trombone is? With a slide? You guys know what I'm talking about? I think it's a trombone. What a word. I admire your diligence to stay focused on learning programming. I suffer from ADHD and often zone out really quick. Trumpet, Ray says? You think it's a trumpet? It might be, it might be a trumpet. A trumpet is like the 3 up here, right? It might be a trumpet. I thought it was, it had some lower notes, so I thought it was trombone, but trumpet might be it. Okay, so this is, let's just do current price. It has a current price. Right? We already identified that, right? I'm I'm trolling. Okay, I just go like this. For key value in stock, get yf ticker get info items print key quote colon value. All right, here we go. Now we can cook. Okay, so here's our volume. Let's look up. Let's get a new thing here so we don't get unwanted ones. Let's look up price and see what all the options for price. Post market price. Post market change. Okay. Oh, nice. It does have post market. 247.38. I'm reading 247.49 on this exchange. 247.80 was the ending on Webull for the nighttime. Huh. Okay. So we have that price. We have trailing month target price high. Post market price. Regular market price. Current price. Yeah. How's it? Okay. Whatever. Has some like repeating data, but whatever. Hey Lane, how's it going? What are you doing today, chat? How's it going? Taco Nut. What's going on, my boy? Trumpet has the 3 valve buttons. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this gets us current price. That still works accordingly. And so we have volume. I keep forgetting we want to indicate a volume. So let's find a volume out of here. So we have volume, regular market volume, and average volume. I'm wondering, should we package this into a collection of volume that it's giving us? Right? Like, should we package volume? We could say current volume, right? And then we could say just volume, which will give us back a dictionary of all of the volume objects in this. Because we might want the 10-day average, the average 10 days. I mean, we're going to create our own averages and kind of track, but it's kind of... This is the average volume over like the lifetime, I'm guessing, right? Thanks, Lane. Appreciate the gas. Thanks for hyping me up. Trying my best here to learn and, you know, figure stuff out, reading docs, you know, limiting AI use and trying to set ourselves apart here as a programmer or scientist in general. So, yeah. Thanks so much for coming in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me know more about you guys and what you're working on. Sorry, my neck is thrashed. I got that gamer neck. I need to chill, guys. Oh, come on. Let's gotta pop. I can feel it. Like next thing you know. Next thing you know, just gone. Okay. Yeah. So we'll say current volume, and we'll make this a property, and we will um right, and then we'll yeah. We're just gonna return basically the same thing here, except we're gonna say current volume. Or there just is no current volume. It's a regular market volume and volume. So I'm guessing we'll just take the volume. And then I will make another property. And we'll define this as average. Because I'm going to create my own averages though. So do I want to make this like YF average? Maybe I won't take out the average yet. Okay, so maybe let's do let's take the average volume and let's get it out of here. I'll just go like this. Average volume here, right? So what I think we could do to implement maybe our first strategy is that we could take the who's that? Not so lane. Not so lane. Appreciate you coming in. You're awesome. We'll put you on the second screen while I focus on my work. Yeah, that's exactly the purpose of this. Exactly. That's one of my goals is if you're having trouble like finishing your homework or focusing on your own goals and stuff, it's often it can be don't think of it as like competition, but it can often be helpful to like have someone there doing their own thing while you're doing your own thing, just to kind of motivate you like on like a an aura based level, like like we're we're both focused, motivating, working on something. Like if he's working, I'm working. Like it's kind of like that old saying: if you're not working, someone else is working and getting better. So be competitive with yourself. Um, Try not to be with others. Be within yourself. Set goals for yourself, and use others as inspiration. And yeah, cool. That's my nice. So that's what we're those. That is that. So we can get the average volume, current volume, and then the current price. So I'm thinking what we could do is we have current volume and average volume. Now what if we take a reading of the current volume every maybe hour, maybe 4 hours, right? On the 4-hour candle. And we plot that against the percent difference against the average volume and the percent, and then we plot that. That would give us the percent change between the current volume. Maybe what we should do is do the percent change between the previous volume and the past hour and the new data point, right? And then take that percent change. I mean, is there any correlation that we can think of between daily volume and does it feasibly make sense is if we have increasing volume, we have more buyers or potentially more sellers coming in, causing volume to go up, right? Obviously, there's more action on the stock, which is something that we want to look for. Volume is going to be a huge indicator in kind of our it's been a huge indicator in a lot of my kind of more manual based strategies here of identifying where kind of bigger money is flowing and where momentum is going to start, um, as I see people start buying into some contracts and whatnot. Um, Now that's like option contract volume. Now this is just stock volume, which is a little bit different, which will help us to know if like the underlying is moving as well, right? So I'm curious, like if we take the current volume and we plot it, we do a percent change against the previous volume indicator, and then we take that ratio and we see how it's affected the average, right? If we and when we take the average volume at those two steps as well, and we have these like these two data points, like these two chunks. One being, okay, I gotta skip this song. It's trolling me. Right, and then how can we? Is there maybe a way we can identify like a potential weight between the difference of these moves, right? If the average is, well, let's go ahead. I have no problem going in and chatting here. I'll just get some title ideas. Don't mind me. Let's go ahead and talk about a stock project, idea that I'm going to do. I'm kind of wanting to create a bunch of models, or a bunch of tools that I can, associate with some underlying data, given a stock underlying, and given this data generate in my models generate kind of a overall mapping of kind of health or whatnot, just to give me a better idea, perspective from many different angles of, whether I should buy or not. Now, I'm wanting to implement some strategies here into these models, and for my first ones, I want to kind of talk about volume. Now, I'm having some thoughts about the correlation between current volume, like live volume, at certain intervals throughout the day, like on the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and the percent change between those volumes, and the correlation and effect between the percent change of the overall average volume at those same time steps. Now, based on your understanding of this, I don't think it would it be linear and just scaled up to a factor uh, equal to the average, or no, it would be because it's dependent upon the average value, and that's completely independent um, of the two data points that we took for current volumes. Now, right? So, well, I mean, the current volume data point will be one of the data points within the overall set for the average. So it has some sort of dependency, but it's pretty minimal over the entire average of the stock lifespan. Let's think about this and talk about this more, as well as some potential other strategies regarding volume tracking and statistical analysis for understanding, momentum moves regarding what I've been talking about right today. Whatever. That's how you prompt, boys. That's how you prompt right there. Okay. Let me know what you guys are working on. If you guys are enjoying the stream so far, let me know if you guys are having a good time. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It's awesome. I like coding with you guys. Nice. This is a great project, and you're already thinking about the right subtleties. Dependency on the current point on the average, intraday seasonality, etc. I'll give a practical breakdown you can implement in Python. You said you like Python, plus statistical ideas and experiment backtest suggestions. You can turn ideas into working models. Summary of the core problem. You want to use the volume, live and historical, at multiple intraday levels to produce features that help judge health/momentum for a stock. Key subtlety. A current volume sample is usually part of the historical average you compare it with. That creates a small dependency. You can mitigate it by excluding the current point using a long-term average or using time of day averages to remove intraday seasonality. Useful volume features: what to compute. Short names, then a one-line definition. Raw volume, the raw traded volume for the interval. The relative volume, the current volume divided by the average volume over some period. Excluded current point or use long window. The volume z-score, which is the current volume less than the mean over the standard deviation, over a rolling window. Detect spikes. Percent change in volume, right? Rolling averages. Volume rate of change for k periods. Volume rate of change for k periods. Unbalanced volume. Wow, there's a lot. Exclude the current point when computing the average, right? Okay. No, this is... Don't get into code or anything. Let's have more of a discussion about the formalities of these indicators and how we can read them and use them in our quantitative analysis. Okay, volume is one of the few purely behavioral measures in markets. Price tells you what happened. Volume tells you how intensely market participants cared. That's why quantitative frameworks often treat volume as confirmatory or anticipatory variable. If price moves with strong volume, it suggests consensus, the move is confirmed. If price moves without volume, it suggests indifference, the move may fade. If price spikes ahead of a move, it can imply informed participation or expectation of change. Statistically, volume is positively autocorrelated. High volume periods tend to cluster and often correlated with volatility. This means any interpretation must control for volatility or normal volume against its own recent behavior. Volume normalization in context. Raw volume is not meaningful on its own. It varies by market capitalization, time of day of the week, market regime. So before we interpret it, we contextualize it. 3 standard normalizations are relative volume, which is relative volume is this, where it is the volume at some time over some volume at some time of a look back. So measures how active the current period is relative to typical activity. The relative volume is greater than 1 indicates that higher than average participation, possible accumulation/distribution phase. If the relative volume is less than 1, quiet participation, often consolidation or disinterest. In quantitative analysis, you might treat relative volume as volatility scale participation metric. A sustained high relative volume during a price trend often indicates the move is robust, momentum regime. Sudden spikes in relative volatility can precede breakouts, especially if price has been range bound. Okay, I like this. So relative volatility, or what was it? relative volume is the current volume divided by the average volume. Why does it say look back? Relative volume, RVOL, is an indicator that tells trader how current trading volume is compared to past volume given over a time period. It's kind of like in play a stock is. The higher the relative volume is, the more in play it becomes because traders are watching and trading it. As traders, this is what we want. Stocks that have a lot of volume have more liquidity and tend to trade better than stocks with low relative volume. Average volume over the look-back period. The average volume is typically computed as a simple moving average over a defined number of periods, commonly 10, 20, or 50 trading days, or bars, depending on the platform or trader preference. For example, if a stock's current volume is 300 million shares and its 10-day average volume is 150 million shares, its relative volume would be 2, indicating that twice the normal trading activity. Okay, so you do need a okay. So let's go ahead and compute a relative volume right, which is going to be a property. The thing actually is I want to call it's going to be a function because I want to call it relative volume. And we're going to say period is equal to an int. Or we need self, right? And then, yeah. So what we're going to do is we need to get the X volumes for the X period. Right? So, hey Austin, how's it going, my boy? Welcome back in. Oh no. Here we go. Should we watch some Coding Jesus while we sit here?
Yes, I believe so. Okay.
So
Dang, I need.
now that you know it's an audit release, how would you approach the role?
Okay. Well, that means you're just running.
Dang, Coding Jesus has got
Okay. If
the nose job
period,
bandage on.
then what? Nums is.
That looks
Oh,
rough.
wait.
Probably got like a
My
headache.
bad.
He's probably on painkillers.
It's not a list.
It's just you're changing in place.
Well, no, you're not changing it in place because you're returning. You're returning an object. So what's being returned? What's the type of the object?
A reference to like the
Watching
front
this.
of the list.
No.
Is it just
It starts with an I.
What's he asking?
an index?
No.
An integer array?
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
IT?
Uh, an
Iterable?
iterator.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
So now that you know it's an iterator, continue the question. So what is the
Oh,
third
it's gonna
lo-
be false because whenever you do sorted on that iterator, it's gonna fall off. Or wait, it's gonna give you an error.
Walk me through it.
Okay. So whenever you're doing that sorted, the way the sorted in Python, I'm assuming how it works is you have an iterator and it just sorts. It
It
will
takes in an iterable, right?
what it'll do is it'll
Sorted takes
rearrange the
in
things
an
using that
iterable
iterator, and
that
then
can
whenever you're
be
saying
iterated
that
over.
equals sorted to reverse, that iterator is now in like a different position. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Okay.
And because of that, it's going to return false because the iterators are in different positions now.
Right. Because it exhausted the iterator.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Cool. Um, if I round, I have the number
So
2.5 in Python.
Yeah.
Okay. And I
we
round it
want to
up like
see
this, or I round it like this.
price history.
What gets printed?
So you round it up and then you print it like that?
Well, I didn't say I round it up. I'm asking
Oh,
you
okay.
what gets printed.
What is that not just
So
it's
how
gonna
can
be
we get
2?
past
Because I'm
data
assuming the
search
zero
and lookup? No.
the 0 is just gonna say only print like one
Market?
character.
You're saying the 0 truncates it?
Yeah.
No. Funds data.
Okay, it does truncate it, but does it truncate it up or down?
ETF and mutual funds. Price history class.
I would assume it truncates it up.
But you said 2, so is it 2 or 3?
Oh, sorry. Sorry, down.
The 2?
Yeah.
Okay, that's right.
Get actions.
What if I do the same thing, but instead of 2.5,
Scrapers
it's
history, price
3.5?
history for.
I mean, I would assume it would still go down to 3.
Nope,
Why does it? Wait, that's stupid. Why does it not?
does it? Because of Python's rounding rules.
What are Python's rounding rules in this case?
Half to even?
Half to even. Oh, isn't that how it's in C as well?
I don't know.
Okay. No, I'm using C in my
Let me
computer
look up,
architecture
like,
class, and I feel like that was like on our last exam. I remember reading that.
volume
yeah, but see, these are
history.
things that are like, why do you need to know that? Well, if this was not a 2.5, but a 2.5 million,
Volume history.
and
Oh.
I had no idea, and I
History
rounded
method.
it, and I thought it's just gonna truncate, but it goes from
The
3.5
stocks have a
to
history
4.
method.
And now I
I
have
mean,
this.
why-
Now I have this extra
Ah.
$500,000 in my trading system, and I have no idea how it magically just appeared there.
I mean, why wouldn't you just like use like a seal or a floor? Like, I feel like that's the
Yeah,
more obvious thing to do.
that's probably a good thing to do. But imagine you have an intern writing this or a junior that doesn't know the behavior of this.
Okay,
and
so
knows
let's
this
go
by accident.
to our
Okay, yeah, no, that makes
testing
sense.
here,
Yeah.
and let's
how
go
does it
ahead
happen
and.
if I zip two arrays of different lengths?
I believe it's just gonna like have like null for the last ends, or no, it's just gonna truncate it. My bad.
So the third array. So let's say I have 2 arrays.
I can't really
Yeah.
focus with this.
Four,
Sorry,
one
guys.
size 2, and then I zip.
I can't multitask like that. Okay, so we want to use the history. Okay, so let's go stock.yf ticker.history. This returns a data frame of all of the history. Okay. Oh god. Now I want to say. So this is a pandas data frame. So I have to go like this. How do I. Oh. So So I'll save this as history is equal to this. And then what I'll say is history dot iter rows so we can say for row for index and row in history dot iter rows. No, we don't want to do that. We want to say we want to index into. Yeah, we want to iterate over the rows and access the volume. Right, so it'd be row dot locate quote volume can I print this? No access name volumes for this type of series. So can I print history dot header dot for every row in data frame dot rows, row column 1, row column 2. Okay, so let's just do for row in history dot rows. We have to do it for I and row in history dot iter rows histroy. Right. We're going to print row volume. How to print only headers. Print data frame dot columns dot to list. Okay. So print history dot columns dot to list. Open, high, close, volume. Oh, capital V. vowing. Does this take a range? No. So we'll slice the iter rows up to R volumes. No, generate object is not scriptable. So the thing is this returned not that many. Only the past 30 days or whatever. So does history take in an optional parameter? YF history. Does it take in param to extend length? 1 year, 1 day, 5 days. Okay, so we'll go so we want at least like the 10, the 20, and the 50 probably. So we need at least the 1 year, the past year volume, right? Or at least 3 months. That'll be 30, 60, 90 days, right? 100-day movie, 200-day. So maybe we want 6 months is 180. So 1 year, 365. So we go 1 year. So history, we'll go period is equal to 1 year here. And now let's see if that instead of slicing works. Here we go. Boom. So that gives us numpy float values. Now I don't use, well, I just pulled up AI to help me learn, but I don't use Claude and that stuff to write code for me, no way. That defeats all the fun out of writing code. I like writing it, actually. I mean, we could probably move a lot faster and whatnot, but I mean, I wouldn't learn anything, and I wouldn't have any fun doing it. Yo, what's up, Lance? Welcome, welcome. Appreciate your question, though, BI. Hey, how's it going, NG? Appreciate you guys being here. Let's drop a like on the stream if you guys are in here. Appreciate you guys so much for joining me. If you guys are new here, if you guys could subscribe, that's awesome. Thanks to everybody for joining us today. We are pushing up to 3,400 subs almost. We're pushing it. Another gaming stream at 3,500, yeah, with some case opening, maybe 4K. 4K. Okay, so that's good. So let's go here. We want to get, so this is the current volume and this is the average volume. And let's go get def. Let's do at. This is what I'm going to do. Current average volume is this, like current price, current volume, current average volume. And then what we're going to say is property, or we're going to say, yeah. No, this is going to be a function. So def get average volume, and what we're going to do is put in this, and then we're going to have a period, which is going to have a time frame of an integer. We're going to say basically what we did up front here. So, right, our history is equal to our self, not our stock, but our self dot, oh my god, YF ticker dot history for the period of, oh god, periods is equal to, we'll do a set of periods, where we'll have, 5, 10, 15, 20, 50, 100, 365, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, 365. I guess we'll add the 200 on there, and then the 1 year. Okay, so I'll say if period not in periods, raise value. Okay. Nice, that looks good to me. And then what we're going to do is we have history. This is going to go for, we're going to get the 1 year. We're going to iterate over, so this is history. What did history give us? It gave us the current date. Right? So it gives you the current date, right? Now let's ask really quickly, does relative volume include the current volume for the day? The inclusion of the current volumes day in the average relative volume calculation has a specific implementation. Some indicators include the current volumes day when calculating the average volume, which can make the comparison less accurate because the current volumes day is being used to define the baseline. However, a more accurate approach is to exclude the current volumes day from the average. Okay. So we have a look back period. We have these periods, and if the period isn't in there, then we raise the error. So we get a history for 1 year. Right? And then we go ahead and get all the volumes of this, of these rows of this. But what I want to do is slice off we're going to take a slice here of the period. So actually it would be the inverse period, right? So we want to take a slice So we want to go. We're going to iterate over this up to the from the end -1 up to the period, but I'm going to do, and then oh, I forgot. Negative slice. Oh, it's close, so just negative period. Okay, and then what we're gonna do, that gives us the list of volumes, is I'm going to do sum, or no, result is equal to sum volumes divided by the period. And I'm gonna floor that. So this would give us -1 up to the -20. From the 20th to last up to the 2nd to last. And then we're going to return the res, right? Or we can just return that. Am I slicing it correct for the back period, excluding the current day? You're very close, but there's a small off by one typo. This indeed includes the current last day, but it also gives you only the period -1 items because your slicing stops before -1. For example, if the period is 5, this takes the -5, -4, -3, -2, that's only 4 days. So we need to do this. Or sorry, +1. See, or negative, it would, sorry, I had it right. Right, negative minus a 1 is still that, or you could do plus to a negative. Either one works. If you do the order of operations first in the parentheses like that. Or volumes, slice up to -1. And negative period up to the end. Oh, you can do 2 slices like that. Okay, so we have average volume here, get average volume for these periods, right? So if I say stock.get average volume for the period equal to 5, and I print this average volume, this. Now if I go 10, see, it should be relatively similar because it's an average of these values. Why is my VS Code terminal sectioning off as I scroll? Why is it doing this? Whatever. So if we do 100, what's that? If I do 365, hold on, you guys, 1 second. See how correct we are. That's a clean and solid start. It's functional correct. Gets the job done. You're validating a period against a fixed set of periods. That's a great practice. Prevents arbitrary using white minus ticker history. Get the year data and slicing the period values. You're protecting against off by one slicing. You don't include the current incomplete bar. Instead of manually iterating, you can directly use the pandas column. You can go, okay, so you could do this. You can do history, volume, ilocate. Oh, okay. So we could save ourselves some time here and go volumes is equals to history. Oh no, that stays, but volumes goes to history dot ilocate volume. Or is this where you put the index in pandas? History. Oh, history. Okay, you do history, index, volume. And then you do index locate. Okay, oh, okay. So I want to specify this specific column within the history's data frame. And I want to locate the indexes of this, of the range I was doing before of negative period to -1, right? Negative period +1 to -1. And return this. So that should give me the same value here. Nice. Which is a integer. So that's the average volume for the given periods. Right. Cool. Right, so that's pretty nice. We were able to get the average volume for those periods, and rather than iterating. Yeah. So volumes dot mean. So there is a mean. Okay. There is a mean method within the data frame. Huh? Okay, so let's say I'm gonna print stock dot volume, current volume. This is the average volume over 365 days. I think it's working. That's current. This is yesterday's. Huh. What if I do the 0? So what was the volume of Apple today? Volume of Apple stock, 38 mil on Robinhood, 34 here on my fund notes. Average is 54 mil. Yeah. Wow. Stock current. average volume. So the average volume given these periods. So gives us the mean of the volumes. So if I go sum volumes by length volumes. $43 for 10. If I go to 20, you get 55. Why am I getting different values all over the place? 100, 54, 86266. So let's just do the 100. So if I test it on this one, I get 548. Okay, this guy. Right? And then if I just take volumes dot mean here and run this, yeah, it's the same thing. Okay, so that's the average volume, not including the current one. Hey Ray, glad you enjoyed it, my guy. Okay, so that's fine. So then we're going to go int, like that, and so that's giving us the average volume over the period. So over a 5-day period, the average volume for Apple is 42 million shares traded. 42.6 million shares, right? But today on Apple, we traded, if we go to Yahoo Finance, Apple, and look at volume, 34.6. Yeah, so it's rounding that up. And here I'm getting 38.14, but that might be including after hours volumes. So not a big deal. Hey Anon, how's it going, my boy? How's your job been going? You're a veteran now. You all enrolled and good. Anyone know why in VS Code I'm having this like weird like sectioning happening here like this? Like why am I having this like sectioning happening? In my terminal. It's really annoying me. Okay, so now we have the current volume and the average volume over a certain period for this stock. So that's nice. So what we can do is now we can compute really fast. Let's do def get relative volume and given self and a period, which is an integer, and we're going to return an integer as well. And then what we're going to do is call self.get average volume and say this is average given the period that was given here, and we're going to return int, we'll return self dot current volume floored by the average here. And I think that will give us what we want. Oh, it's not truncated. Exclude the current incomplete bar in the average volume. Yeah, we are doing that. Make sure the self.current volume is volume. You should be the latest completed bar. Right. Okay. So it returns a float rather. Okay. Let's get some check then on this because it should be fine. Right. Because okay. Okay. How this look? Nice. Okay, so let's return a float here, and then let's not truncate the mean. Okay, so then if we go print stock.get relative volume for the period of 5 days, for the past, let's say 100 days. This gives me this guy here. 63. Now let's go ahead and round this value to the round digits. We'll put in here round digits. Which defaults to 2. Boom. Let's go. Okay, so now you can put in a specific number of digits to round to. Nice. It's going alright. I haven't had a chance to work on something meaningful yet, just some bugs and minor tickets. The code base is huge. I need a little bit more time before I start contributing. Oh, nice. What kind of software or technology do they make? Can't complain, honestly. Science before the storm, I suppose, but at least I have something to look forward to every week. Yeah, right. Get a paycheck now, huh? Paycheck to code, huh? Right. Now it can definitely feel like honestly, like from like a corporate perspective, I'm not really sure from like a software engineer perspective, but from like a corporate tech, like a I have biotech background, right? So corporate biotech background, like the first 3 to 5 months, like honestly, like if you can make a mark and like make a difference in that, like that's huge, because like it just shows like a lot, like a high speed of competence ability, like for you. But honestly, in the first 3 to 6 months, like I'm saying the word like a lot, sorry guys, it really is pretty lenient, like no one really expects much of you, and the expectation is that it takes some time to get you up to speed. But after that 6 month mark, is if you aren't like directly contributing, if you're still making mistakes, if you're like, it's like, okay, like you've had the time to get your feet under you, you've had the time to make some errors and then learn from those errors and then get feedback. But then if you repeatedly are making more errors after that, it's like, okay, now we probably got to get someone else in here. Yeah, but no, I bet you're doing great, man. It's probably awesome, and take those first 3 or 4 or 5 months to really learn and grind, and if you can produce, that's super awesome. I remember my goal when I came into my team for my biotech team was to produce products within the first couple of months, and I was able to do that, and that's what really helped project me forward into getting these kind of more promotions above certain other candidates and things like that, into kind of approaching kind of more seniority level position now, hopefully soon. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. They automate investment research by prepping due diligence reports, first analyses, etc. Mainly Python using the Django Flask API. I'm still getting used to the architecture. Oh, nice. Well, sweet, dude. We're building stock projects here, so this would be a good opportunity to get more familiar with stock stuff. Do you know much about stock stuff? Okay. Sweet, I like this. So let's go git, add, git commit. Hold on. So we need to go get touch, not get ignore. PyCache b dot b and b get ignore. I have the hiccups. I'll take that. Nice. Let's go check that out. Nice. Bro, my August and September has been so dead compared to where I was. Actually, I bet you if I pushed my dev branch of my Birdie Rose Close project to main, I bet you almost all of this September would go green, and with a little bit of August. That Birdie Rose Close, if I push that dev branch to main, it'll make all of these go green because it's not tracking that dev branch. Hall Minotaur, my bro, preaching confidence and solutions. Hey, Hall Minotaur, how's it going? Thanks, dude. Appreciate you coming in. It's good to hear from you again. Bringing solutions to your companies matters so much. Yeah, exactly. It really buys you a lot of like leniency within the group, especially if you have some personality issues or something like that. If you're like, I like, I'm not like, I'm really friendly like in person, like I'm really like, I try to be, but like I'm not like a best buddy. Like I work very like independently. I work very like methodically and process my stuff, and I'm very like, detailed and very high quality. I'm very like I have a lot of like my paperwork's really nice and stuff, um, and so like I can work in teams, I can administer that, but like I do much better like and more efficiently being able to work like independently and just take on a task and grind it out and like build and whatnot. And so um, like this part of my improvements, I think, is just becoming more of like a general like a trainer leader for like in general, like more taking my expertise on like the products I build at work and being better at like administering those and delegating those out to junior scientists to help them learn more, and whatnot is one of my goals. But because I have been able to like really rapidly produce at like a level that's pretty like kind of higher than kind of like the standard and some of my like peers and such, like I've been able to get like a little bit more leniency with like they've been able to task me on with additional projects to like these coding projects. Like if I was behind on my work, there's no way they let me do this stuff. Like if I was like a normal person, like because I'm like I can excel at like what I currently do, I can take on these other things to add more value and stuff, like the coding project I'm starting at work and been doing. So yeah, I mean, I've got to keep moving in life. Remember, I was in such a bad place mentally due to personal and social relationships and whatnot issues, and was just about to quit tech forever. I found you guys in a sweet little community. I haven't been active, but that's because I was working towards a bigger goal, and seeing you guys go at it daily helped me motivate me. Nice, dude. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad we were able to help you. I really am. You know, I too get those feelings. You know, myself just sitting in here thinking, oh man, do I continue? What am I doing this for? Like, really, at the end of the day, if I stopped, like, what would I wouldn't, you know, nothing would really happen. Like, I would just kind of stop. But I keep pushing, keep grinding for the potential, something that could happen in the future if I keep polishing skills and keep going. So, yeah. Anywho, you guys, I think we're going to call it here for today. We streamed for 2.5 hours. This was a good stream getting back into our Better Options project. I restarted the entire project. I know before we had the ability to kind of parse through the options chain and stuff, and we will re-implement that, but I kind of did a pretty half-assed job before and really didn't write that clean of code, and it was really random, and like it had a lot of like really bad file writing and stuff in it. It was just not very clean. So I wiped the whole repo and we restarted here. It wasn't very much. It was only like 1 day's worth of writing and stuff. So we wiped the repo and kind of reformatted our class here to a more streamlined structure to where we can have this kind of nested passed in class into our overall class for the reference of all of the kind of Y finance data, and then we can create more fine-tuned variable or methods and functionality regarding the parsing of the packaged data within the ticker Y finance objects. So like we're kind of taking the data it gives us and creating additional methodologies to have more like average volumes, relative volumes, potential like better, more in-depth analysis of these individual indicators and characteristics of the stock, right? So hopefully we can kind of build up over the next like month or so kind of a lot of tools and whatnot for computing these various models and generalizing stock pricing and whatnot. So I appreciate you guys staying staying here and hanging out with me. If you guys just could leave a like before you head out for today, I appreciate that so much. Again, my name is Michael. I teach myself computer science and programming almost every single day. I have a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry, and I really appreciate you guys joining me here. Thank you guys so much. Hall Minotaur, Ray, Anand, let's see who else was in here. Lance, Austin, Bai, Lane, Taco Nut, Got Me, psychologist or someone, Oiso, I think so much, Slow, Cyrus Boy, Tim, my boy, Amadu, Greg, Jose, Michi, Eduardo, Blitz, all y'all. So thanks so much for chatting with me today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks a lot, everyone. All of us are bound for bigger and better things. I pray that we all achieve something we work towards. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the Discord. See you guys.